Hey guys, good morning. Welcome back to our channel, the 18 Squad. So on today's video is about the Bureau of Immigration strict arrival formalities for foreign nationals entering the Philippines. Details coming right up. So the Bureau of Immigration has just posted a press release on their Facebook page about ordering a stricter screening for aliens with temporary visitors visa. This has come to the attention of the Bureau of Immigration Chief Commissioner Jaime Morente because there are foreign nationals during their immigration process has failed the interview and has conflicting answers on their purpose to travel to the Philippines. So the Bureau of Immigration Commissioner Chief Jaime Morente has ordered their officers to strictly screen foreign nationals coming into the country, especially to those aliens with temporary visitors visa. Let's go over the details of this press release. So here's what the Bureau of Immigration Commissioner Chief Jaime Morente said. Bureau of Immigration officers in the different international airports have been ordered to thoroughly screen arriving foreigners despite having a 9A temporary visitor's visa and entry exemption documents to make sure that they have valid and legitimate purpose of visiting the country. So it's like 2 weeks ago that the Bureau of Immigration has a new travel regulations to those foreign nationals who were issued visa before March 20 and who were not permitted to come to the Philippines because of the lockdown. And now that they are resuming, they can now enter the Philippines by processing the DFA endorsement or entry exemption documents. But unfortunately, there are foreign nationals, even though they have these documents to enter the Philippines, fail to establish the purpose of their travel to the country and giving highly conflicting statement for their purpose visiting the Philippines. So because of this, the Bureau of Immigration Commissioner Jaime Morente has a memorandum order issued recently reminding immigration inspectors manning the port to conduct strict arrival formalities for foreign nationals arriving in the country, regardless if they have the proper documentation like the DFA endorsement or the entry exemption document. So let's read some of the statement from the Bureau of Immigration Commissioner Jaime Morente why this has to happen and why this has to be implemented to all foreign nationals arriving in the Philippines, especially to those aliens with temporary visitors visa or the 9A visa. So one of the reasons was they have intercepted several Chinese nationals who arrived in the country with entry visas and entry exemption documents who turned out to have misrepresented their purpose in traveling to the Philippines. So this is the problem. Those that follows the law, those that follows the travel restrictions to the Philippines gets punished because there are few people that doesn't follow the rule. So now it is implemented to everybody, involving those who really follows the rule on the travel restrictions to the Philippines. Another one is, aside from giving inconsistent answers during interview, the passengers were also not able to establish their connections to companies that invited them to visit the Philippines. This was the statement from Fortunato Manhattan Jr. He is the chief of the Bureau of Immigration Intelligence Division, which supervises the TCEU, which stands for Travel Control and Enforcement Unit. Manhattan clarified that arriving aliens tourists, despite having entry exemption documents, may still be required further proof of purpose and assess to determine the legitimacy of their travel. So please take note, if you were issued a 9A visa or the temporary visitor's visa and you were able to avail the DFA endorsement or the entry exemption document, this doesn't mean that you will be guaranteed entry into the Philippines. The Bureau of Immigration has gotten more stricter to those foreign nationals entering the Philippines with this particular visa and with this particular document that you need to establish the purpose of your travel to the Philippines during the time of the pandemic. This is what the Bureau of Immigration wants to implement or wants to emphasize to all travelers traveling to the Philippines during this time. That you need to prove the purpose of your travel to the Philippines if it's legit, and do not commit any misrepresentation because you will be denied entry. And not only that, you will not only be denied entry into the Philippines, but you will be blacklisted and banned from re-entering the Philippines for being a public charge. So this was the closing statement of the Bureau of Immigration Commissioner Jaime Morente. He clarified that the entry exemption document do not exempt arriving passengers from regular immigration scrutiny. The entry exemption document is not a free pass to enter the country, said Morente. It's a documentary requirement set by the IATF or the Interagency Task Force for Emerging Infectious Diseases for aliens arriving under temporary visitor's visa, but their entry is still subject to immigration inspection, he said. So I just want to clarify, because I know some will ask again, why did they get a 9A visa or the temporary visitor's visa? These are the foreign nationals that were issued temporary visitor's visa before the lockdown last March of 2020, who failed to enter the country, like I said, because of the lockdown. Now they are allowed to enter the Philippines again as long as they still have the existing visa and the visa is still valid upon entry. But they will have additional requirements like the DFA endorsement or the entry exemption document. But this is not a ticket or a travel pass that you will be allowed entry into the Philippines, because this is still subject to immigration inspection. So the Bureau of Immigration will determine if you will be allowed entry into the Philippines, or else you will be denied entry if they are not satisfied with your answer. So please take note of that, especially to those visa holders who are involved on this category. I want to remind you that the Bureau of Immigration is imposing a stricter screening for aliens with temporary visitor's visa arriving in the Philippines. So tougher travel restrictions from the Bureau of Immigration for aliens with temporary visitor's visa. Thank you so much guys for watching. If you find this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family whom you know that can use this video as reference. If you are new to our channel, welcome. We do travel updates, and if you're not a subscriber yet, please consider subscribing and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you will be notified on updates like this. And to our subscribers and new subscribers, thank you so much for the continued support and trust to our channel, the INT'L Squad. I hope to see you guys on our next travel update. Stay safe, stay healthy, and God bless everyone. Bye!